These are relatively freewheeling live streams, although I did receive an email from the Masonic Charitable Foundation. I'm, one of their supporters. They talk about Lauren's story, Park Lane Stable, an award-winning riding for the Stable Association Center, offering horse-related therapy and activities to children and adults with disabilities. Last year, the Masonic Charitable Foundation gave them a £15,000 grant, which will help support their 1,080 beneficiaries across 3 years, including people like Lauren. Following an autism diagnosis, Lauren was removed from mainstream education due to burnout and emotional overwhelm. She began having frequent seizures and was eventually diagnosed with functioning neurologic disorder, losing the ability to walk for 2.5 years. They found Parkland Stables and was able to use the therapeutic horse riding to assist them. So when you want to talk about what does Freemasonry do for communities, that's a huge one right there. But I hope everybody is doing well. Please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button. I just made it to over 2,500 subs, which I'm very, very happy. Or I made it to 2,500 subs exactly. Let's see if I can't get to 2,501. Also, the 10th annual Open Streets Windsor is returning to the city. It'll be fun. Like I said, it'll be good times. I'm sure we'll hang out. We'll see who joins. We'll just chat. And who knows what we'll talk about. I'm sure we'll talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer maybe, because they are making a new series. Who knows what we'll talk about. It'll be fun though. Thank you, Ryan. I will appreciate it. You're a big help, so I appreciate it very much. Also, big thank you to everybody who has been commenting lately on my streams. I've been noticing, or not just on the streams, I should say, but on the videos, I've been noticing I've been getting a lot more comments lately on my episodes, on my posts. Comments help big time, right? They help a huge amount. They show engagement. The thing about social media, and this has been always the case and something I'm learning about, is what it really celebrates more than anything else is engagement, or what it promotes. So watch time is great and that helps huge, but taking the time to also comment and like and etc., what it demonstrates to the algorithm, the all-knowing algorithm, is that people care about the content. So welcome. If you're just joining us, please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you. Yes, I do make the channel, I guess, but the audience shapes the channel, Ryan, and that includes you guys. So thank you so much for being here. Just sending something quickly here. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. And I appreciate, as always, your support and your being here. Welcome, Texas Freemason. Welcome, Courtney. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget, tomorrow, no 1 p.m. live stream, instead a 12 p.m. live stream with Smokey. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. If you are just joining us, please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let me know how it's going and if you want to chat about Freemasonry. Any questions, thoughts you have. So next week, I will be out of town. I'm actually going to be for the weekend, I'm going to be in Chicago and in Glenview for celebrating Labor Day in my favorite place in the world. But I'm still going to try to do a live stream while I can. And then when I'm back on, I guess, Tuesday, I want to talk about email hygiene, email protocols, the process by which you can send emails and know they'll be received and sent and all that jazz. So you're not having this issue that many Masons are having right now with secretaries where they're not getting their info. But I hope everybody is doing well. Please take a moment, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. Well, I'm looking forward, Smokey, to seeing your foreign money. I think that will be very, very cool to see. Please take a moment, jump in the chat, say hello. Nobody sent me the ranch, let me tell you. Well, I mean, I got some ranch chips, which, it was a bit of a troll, but that's okay. Yeah, that was Mr. Keep, so thank you so much to him. Anybody who wants to wants to send me a care package, I very much appreciate it. Very kind of you. I love the eat. One of the things I genuinely love about that package was the microwave macaroni. Genuinely, that is, I think the microwave macaroni tastes better than the stuff you do on the stovetop. I guess it's called Easy Mac, especially when you add a couple slices of cheese and some cut up little sausages in there. It's awesome. Nice. Motorola phone, fancy. Um, I'm sure it'll be awesome to be able to watch our stream on a brand new Motorola phone. That's something I've asked um, in the past, right? Is how do people watch our channel or my channel, right? How do people watch Growing Comes Promotions? Do they watch it on their phone? Do they watch it on the television? Do they watch it on the laptop? I'm always very curious about the way in which people consume Square and Compass Promotions content. Uber Eats Gang, um, Downs. I don't know what I mean. I will Uber Eats. If you're saying I look like Matt Damon, I will take it because Matt Damon is a very handsome person, even if he is Downs or whatever that means. Please hit like and subscribe. I do not know. I mean, I'm going to get there probably for 12:30. I'll be ordering a pizza. I understand. From what I understand, this is just a guess. We're going to be there's basically going to be food throughout. Um, I'll take it. I mean, people can make fun of my look. I don't care. I'm fine with that. If they like and subscribe, they can say whatever they want. But I believe we'll be eating throughout, so it's both food and baseball. But I'll be there around 12:30, and I think around I'm going to try to make sure I order the pizza for 1 o'clock or so. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know who's all going to be there or not. I invited people from, all the different spots. So we'll see who shows up. But these streams are just the hangout streams, the chat streams. We don't have any specific kind of topics. I will be at Coffee Club tomorrow. By the way, if you're in Windsor, Coffee Club is happening on Friday and Monday during Labor Day. And we're back to fall. We're back to Freemasonry after a very well-deserved break. I think we all needed it. I think we're all pretty exhausted. So it'll be nice to come back to it, though. And I cannot, once again, wait to be in Chicago. I'm going overnight Saturday. So basically, I'll be at the baseball game, and then from there, I will be taking heading home, packing, and then heading to beautiful Chicago. I'm going to try out a bunch of new stuff. I got a few kind of trial gym memberships, which I thought would be really cool to try out. Whenever I'm there, I always try to try out things if there's like a free class or a free trial or whatever it is to give that a shot, because if you have the opportunity to take advantage of, a free trial offer, for heaven's sakes, do so. Welcome. If you're just joining us, please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. By all means, let me know um, if there's anything that you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry, positive, negative, neutral. I'd love to hear it. These streams are um, just hanging out, talking, chatting, nothing specific. I mean, as always, any questions about Freemasonry, I'll do my best to answer. But it's more just a general chance to chat. I did just receive this really great story about Lauren, a young lady who was diagnosed with both autism and neurological disorders, who ended up, those disorders were so significant she had trouble walking for a couple years. And the Masonic Charitable Foundation out of England basically donated, I think it was £10,000, something like that, to a therapeutic horse riding association, which helps people like Lauren through horseback riding develop motor skills, relearn the ability to walk. Because to ride a horse, you need to have good balance, you need to have good muscle control, you need to have strong legs. I used to actually ride horses myself pretty regularly. I used to love doing it, though it's been years. And so, that's just an example of the Masonic Charitable Foundation and the work that they're doing. I taught you this before. If you want to learn more about Freemasonry and get ideas, sign up for some of these free newsletters that talk about all the good things Freemasonry is doing and just talk about Freemasonry in general. Masonic Charitable Foundation is a perfect example of that. It's a free newsletter. You can sign up for it and learn about the charitable efforts of Freemasons around the world. Who is the best Mason ever? My dad. Let's go with that. Because, it's going to be completely, subjective anyways, right? It's very hard to be able to actually answer that question well. So I'm going to say my father or my grandfather. I did a YouTube short where I showed my father's and grandfather's past master's jewel, which was really, really cool to show off. So I love doing that. Oh, I love charcuterie. Charcuterie is absolutely my favorite type of food. If I could, that is all I would eat. So, I love meats and cheeses and all the rest of that jazz. It is so very delicious. And I've actually had charcuterie boards a few different occasions for Masonic meetings. They're sometimes kind of easy to create, and they're great food. So, and if you have to feed a large number of people, the problem with charcuterie, though, is just how expensive it is, right? That's the issue with using it, especially if you need it for a large number of people. That's where the challenge comes in. You can create it yourself, but then the issue is having the time to cut everything up and get everything ready. Either way, it's really, really tough. Spaghetti is great. Pasta is another very common Masonic food that comes after dinner. I find the most common type of Masonic meal, especially in North America, is anything that you can make and keep heated in a crock pot. If you can do that, you're well on your way. So if you are a Masonic Junior Warden, and we're not doing the thing about getting a professional chef, then by all means, get yourself a crock pot. Ask the lodge to pay for it. It'll be the best investment you can make. But spaghetti sounds good. I've been having a lot of those snacks. I got my chips for today's live stream. And confirmed by astronomers, the James Webb Telescope confirms there's something very serious that we do not understand about the universe. I'll have to read that. Maybe I'll prepare that for next week's event. Actually, one thing I want to check. Illinois. I wonder if the Illinois Holocaust Museum might have free admission this weekend. Apparently not. I guess it's temporarily closed. Is it? I'm going to go up to the website because I really want to visit the Illinois Holocaust Museum. Yes, it is temporarily closed for renovations. Shoot. I was hoping to maybe visit it this weekend because I want to see if they have anything about Freemasons during the Holocaust and their targeting. Oh, no. Oh, no. Summer 25 to December 25. So that one is closed, but the Chicago satellite is open to the public. Okay, so where's the Chicago satellite? So there's downtown location, 360 North State Street in the River North District. I'm going to figure this out. Welcome, by the way. I hope that everybody watching this is doing well. Please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing and if there's anything you want to talk about. I'm just hanging out. These streams are just me chatting, fooling, shooting the poop. I did, like I said, receive the information about the Masonic Charitable Foundation out of England and the amazing work that they are doing, which I may talk about a little bit tomorrow on my stream with Smokey. Who knows? If not, I will definitely talk about it on next week at some point. And don't forget, I have scheduled my next 24-hour live stream. It is going to be for September 21st. So I'm going to do a 24-hour live stream from September 21st to September 22nd. Just waiting to see if anybody else jumps on. I wonder if I'm missing some of the chat. Let me just... Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Dog eat dog. I'm doing very well. Thank you for being here. It's always good to have you. Well, people are people. You can't let it bother you. You'll drive yourself in crazy. No worries, Smokey. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. Dog eat dog. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well also. And thank you, Texas Freemason. It is a beautiful jewel. I do not disagree. It's really, really wonderful. I feel very lucky to have it. I have three past masters jewels. So I feel lucky that I've had every single one thus far. It's been incredible. I was really proud. I got to show them off during my 24-hour live stream, and I can't wait to show off more. maybe even at the next 24-hour live stream, I'll take a few minutes to show off more of my items. Um, but thank you again, everybody who has been here. I truly, truly appreciate it. Anything you guys want to chat when it comes to Freemasonry? Any thoughts you have, positive, negative, or neutral? I'm not sure why we kind of lost the chat there for a second, but it came back. And Dog Eat Dog, how are you doing? I'm trying to see if I can visit the, like I said, the Illinois Holocaust Museum 360 experience, and see if they have anything about Freemasonry there. And I'll always stay safe. I'm sorry to hear you're not working, Dog Eat Dog. I hope that, like I said, I hope that that doesn't last forever. I hope that I'm sure you're looking for work. I know that there are some programs and services in terms of like assistance with resumes. I don't really know where you're from. I know in Ontario some of those programs, but assistance with resumes, food, or sorry, not food, clothing for interviews, things like that. So, oh, you're okay. So you're at work because I saw it here. Not bad. Be better if I was working. LOL. So I thought you meant you weren't working. So yes, it'd be better if you weren't working. I know that feeling. I consider this my work. So in some ways, it's the easiest work in the world. I just get to sit and talk to people. Although I guess I'm always sitting no matter what I'm doing. But it's still a lot of fun. No, no, it makes sense. I get it. I get it completely. But I hope you are doing well. And like I said, everybody watching this, please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. This is just a hangout stream. Don't forget Dog Eat Dog. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be having my typical 1 p.m. stream. Rather, I'll be having a 12 noon Eastern time stream with Smokey on my personal YouTube personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Cameron Adamson. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you'll check it out. Where's the middle of nowhere, if you don't mind my asking? What would be the middle of nowhere? I know Masons in Virginia. I've done some interviews with Masons in Virginia. I don't know what part it was. I forget. I can't even think now in what city it was in Virginia. I'd have to go back. Norfolk, Virginia, if I recall correctly, which is a really, really cool, um, really, really cool spot, by the way. So, they have every year they do like a haunted Masonic temple, which was so cool to see. Um, But Southwest, I mean, I know there's a lot of Masons in Virginia. I don't know in your particular area, like what the biggest town or close town might be that would have a Masonic lodge. There are a lot of smaller towns that have Masonic lodges as well. Um, they are unfortunately kind of dying out over time, which is a real shame. Hopefully, we start to see a turnaround. Oh, there's a lot of Freemasonry in Tennessee as well. I've had the chance, I've been lucky enough to visit. a few Masonic, well, really three Masonic buildings in Tennessee. One in Nashville itself, one in a small town just outside of Nashville, and Franklin, Tennessee. And they were all pretty incredible buildings. So Tennessee is an awesome state. It's got a lot of great people. A lot of good friends of mine are in Tennessee. A lot of good Masonic brethren are there. So Tennessee's awesome. If I could live in a different country, um, that's an interesting question. I don't. Hmm. So my first initial thought right away was America because of my love of Chicago and my love of Glenview, and I'd want to live there. But then I think I've been there so much, am I kind of wasting the opportunity? Wouldn't it make more sense to try to travel somewhere I've never been before, like Thailand, somewhere in Asia, Australia? Or would it make sense for England or to go to England to be with my family, um, whom I do not see near as much as I should? And on the English side, my dad's side, or for that matter, my mom's side, to be honest. You know what? I'm gonna say Asia. I'm gonna say where somewhere. Um, it's really tough to know. Japan, just because it's somewhere I've never been. Um, I wish, and because I've never been there before, I think it would be really incredible to be somewhere I've never been before and see somewhere I've never been before. Actually, no, I'm going to change it. Hong Kong, because there's a really cool Masonic history in Hong Kong. I think so. It would be really fun uh, to do that. So I'm going to go with Hong Kong. Live there for a year, a place I've never been before, which I think would be absolutely incredible. And in the same way, I get to both experience a brand new culture, a brand new place, and a place with a fascinating Masonic history. So yeah, I know there's a bit of a long answer, but one more time, I guess technically China, but Hong Kong in China. Yeah, Canadian, born and raised, grew up in uh, grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the most awesome place in the world. So, I mean, and then I live in Windsor, and I've said it a million times. I love America. Um, I've said it a million times. Canada is the greatest country in the world because we have the greatest neighbors in the world. I've traveled to the States all the time, despite the fact that, I'm not a huge fan of the political situation in the States right now. I still choose to travel there and support my friends and support my Masonic brethren therein and support the local businesses therein, all that good jazz. So, Yeah, I can't wait to be back there for the Labor Day long weekend. I think it's going to be a really special and really fun time. I'm very much beyond looking forward to it. Okay, if you grew up in Michigan, yeah, you would know it because I live in Windsor. So Windsor and Michigan have a very long-standing and wonderful relationship with each other. It's, I think, has been a absolute tradition for Detroit and Michigan teenagers to make their way to Windsor to take advantage of some of what Windsor has to offer, such as the Windsor Ballet, a different drinking age. It's very, very well known tradition, at least in the past. Whether that tradition is still there or not, as much, I'm not so sure. Yeah, and Windsor's a great city. Windsor is, in my opinion, um, a wonderful city that very often does not get the love and appreciation it deserves. So yeah, I think Windsor is absolutely awesome. I don't know anything about the downfall of Brother Oscar Wilde, but I'm sure it was. I mean, the thing about for better or worse, sometimes great artists, great geniuses have their own kind of eccentricities or eccentricities that do not lead to the best outcomes. That's why you need to try to balance out your eccentricities with hopefully at least some level of rationality, humility, self-reflection, introspection. You kind of need all of that stuff in order to be successful. If you're not, it's very easy to end up in a very bad situation. Good for you, dog eat dog. Good for you. I'm surprised. I'm willing to bet your dad maybe had an idea what was going on. Sometimes parents know more about what's happening than they let on. At least that's been my experience very often. I figured. Yeah, I was about to say. My guess was that he probably knew. By the way, dog eat dog. If you don't mind my asking, and if forgive me if you have and I just was not aware, but have you signed up for my Patreon yet? If you haven't, I hope that you will do so. Um, it is. I can't remember now. I'm lucky to have 57 members of my Patreon. Uh, if you haven't, you can be number 58. And if you have, thank you so much. Yes, I'll put the info in here for you. Just give me 1 second to jump in the stream with the information. So it's patreon.com/square and compass. So you should be able to copy and paste what I've just put in the chat or go to the link if you can click on it. Otherwise, patreon.com/square and compass. You become a Patreon supporter of Square and Compass Promotions. Again, you can join for free. If you want to pay like $1 a month, you can. Otherwise, just join for free, and that's perfectly fine, and that helps out big time. So Rough and Perfect Ashler, hold on just 1 sec. Let me see if I can grab something quickly uh, to kind of talk about that. Give me 1 second. I have to go through all this stuff to find it. All right. Never mind. I don't want to go through all that stuff to find it. I had pictures of the rough and perfect ashlar. I think it's a metaphor, right? For I've always taken it first and foremost as a metaphor for what it means to be human. We exist as a rough ashlar, imperfect. Metaphorically, we work on ourselves and try to turn ourselves into a perfect ashlar. We'll never succeed. We'll never get to the state of being a perfect ashlar, but we try our best um, to get there, right? No, no worries. I mean, these 1 a.m. streams really are more just hang out and chill streams, as opposed to overly Masonic discussions. But like I said, a great way to support me is, aside from leaving some comments and likes and everything else on these videos, is by becoming a Patreon supporter. Patreon.com/square and compass. And that's a huge way to help with the stream. And with Square and Compass promotions in general. We're just waiting to see if anybody else jumps on the chat to say hello. Please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Anything that you guys want to chat about. I'm just here hanging out. Uh, normally I have a 1 p.m. stream where I have a specific topic about Freemasonry, and a 1 a.m. stream where I just hang out and chat about whatever kind of whatever's in the chat. So obviously, I still try to talk about Freemasonry as much as I can, but for these 1 a.m. streams, it's more about just hanging out and chilling, usually for about an hour. So about an hour, in about 20 minutes, we'll be ending this stream. Tomorrow, I will not have my typical 1 p.m. stream. Rather, at 9 a.m., I will be jumping onto a stream with Smokey the Clown, friend of the channel. It should be a lot of fun. Actually, it's going to be a great day tomorrow because I'm going to have a lot of stuff on the go. First, I'm going to swing by Coffee Club. Yes, I know. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be much, much better. Um, so I'm doing my job. I'm drinking more water. But um, what was I saying? Tomorrow I do have a lot on the go. Stopping by Coffee Club, then I have a dentist appointment. Then I've got my stream with Smokey. Then they're doing a special event at the casino, which I'm going to stop by, the PlaySmart Casino. And from there, or the PlaySmart Center within the casino is doing a special event, and I'm going to go there to support them, as well as take advantage of the coffee break that they provide. They've been an amazing organization. And then maybe some fun stuff that evening. Gibran Alvarez, I don't feel young. I'm over 40, so I definitely do not feel young. But Gibran, I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe button. It's not vodka, I promise you, Ryan. And ABC, I think colossal squids go wherever colossal squids want to go. They can do whatever they want because they're terrifying. To both, I am not Gibran, but I really truly appreciate that. That's very kind of you. as well as hitting the dropping the like. I hope you'll hit the subscribe button. I don't know if you have any questions about Freemasonry. If you do, please let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. ABC, I hope you'll also hit the like and subscribe button. But truly appreciate it, Gibran. Like I said, this stream, the 1 a.m. stream, it's just a hangout stream, just a chat stream. The 1 p.m. stream is where we have the more um, specific topics. By the way, speaking of things I want to talk about, I've been seeing a bunch of new clips and updates for The Long Walk. I am beyond excited for that movie. I think that movie is going to be incredible. Everything about it looks great. People keep telling me that who've seen it. I keep hearing these great, awesome early reviews. I will be absolutely like one of the first ones in line to watch this thing. And I'm probably gonna do like an out of theater reaction. I never really do those, but I think this is gonna be one of those times where I actually do an out of theater reaction just because this is my most anticipated movie. And it was filmed in Winnipeg, Manitoba, on a side note. I should, but I have to get permission. It'd be a whole thing. It'd be a challenge. So, but you're not wrong. It wouldn't be a bad idea. How is your day going, Jordan? I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Maybe in some ways, hard moments equate with the greatest opportunities to build strength. Who knows? I could see that. Well, I mean, I don't. So the issue is if you're doing a VR chat and you're setting it up to look like a Masonic temple, there may need to be permissions you get from the Masonic buildings or your Grand Lodge. I mean, there's a lot of concerns surrounding virtual reality and Freemasonry. I think virtual reality is going to be a good thing for Freemasonry, but like always, you need to think about your jurisdiction and how you can work within it. I mean, I don't. I think he'd want to put his name on it, and that would be a challenge. So. Thank you, Dog Eat Dog. I truly appreciate that. Um, like I said, I think Donald Trump would want to put his name on the building, so that would be a challenge. It'd be, it'd create interesting things though, for whatever it's worth. It'd be very fun to see. Yes, looks like we got another member. So thank you so much, Dog Eat Dog. Very much appreciated. To anybody watching this, let that be a lesson. Take a few moments to join the Square and Compass Promotions Patreon. And if you can't do that, take a few moments to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you can't do that, just jump in the chat and say hello. It's that old. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, get somebody to carry you. Either way, there's a way that you can contribute and help out. Well, I will send him. He can have the ranch. I'm not a big fan of him, so I'll send him the ranch. He can deal with it. That's an interesting way to put the question. Because there were a lot of movies I loved as a kid that I still love as an adult. Um, but I like how different. Like I'm one of those people. I can watch the same movie over and over and over again, and really enjoy watching the same movie over and over and over again. So I love the way with any movie that you're watching, it's like you can see it multiple times and the movie doesn't change, but you've changed. And that causes you to look at the movie differently. Like I've seen, when it comes to my favorites, like Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, I've seen those two movies, it has to be over 100 times. It is comforting. I agree, Texas. It is really comforting to watch the same movie over and over again. And so long as it's a movie you enjoy. Let's make that clear. If it's a movie you don't like, that's a whole separate can of tuna. I've seen every Nightmare on Elm Street a million times, but my favorite is the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. Actually, Dog Eat Dog. Hold on just one second. I don't know if you saw this. Oh, where'd I put it now? I'm hoping you should be able to recognize this. Dog Eat Dog. This is a mug. Notice it says Crave In Diner, signed by Lisa Wilcox. Lisa Wilcox played Alice Johnson, and she worked in the Crave In Diner in A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. Oops. And let me show this to you. I've got these stickers from some conventions I've been to. Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. But then, let's get some of these pictures. So this is a signed picture of me with Heather Langenkamp, who played Nancy from the original Nightmare on Elm Street and Dream Warriors. And yes, and I loved the TV show. I think Freddy's Nightmares is incredibly underappreciated as an awesome anthology horror series. And then I got this. So this is a picture of me with Robert Englund and Lisa Wilcox, and it's signed by Lisa Wilcox. I've also got, if I could get this put back, I'll show you the other things I've got. This is from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, after the death of Toy Newkirk's character. You see Brooke Thies, Andrus Jones, Danny Hassel, Lisa Wilcox. I got it signed by Andrus Jones and Lisa Wilcox. And then on this side, it's from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. And this was signed by Yvonne. Kelly Jo Minter. I concur. And then, way back in the day, I wrote a letter to the editor of Horror Hound magazine, talking about my experience visiting a horror convention and meeting some of these celebrities, specifically Lisa Wilcox and all the other people who were in A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and 5. And they actually published it. So what I did is I got all the actors from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and 5 to sign it. Unfortunately, a lot of the signatures have faded away, which sucks. But yeah, this was all about my love of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and 5. I could read it for you if you want, Dog Eat Dog, or maybe what I'll have to do is I'll read it tomorrow on my other channel. And I don't have them with me, sadly, but I have some nunchucks, which are from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, some pins, just a lot of really cool stuff. one of my fondest memories is, so I haven't been to one in a bit, but I used to every year go to the Flashback Horror Convention, which took place in North Chicago in a place called Rosemont. And one year they were celebrating I think it was the 30th anniversary of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. And they were showing the movie on this giant outdoor screen outside in the courtyard of the hotel. And so I went to watch it, and as I'm watching this movie, sitting next to me is Brooke Thies, who played Debbie of, Cockroach infamy. And just seeing her, watching her watch the movie, I always thought about, like, what was she thinking about when she watched that? Was she thinking about all the time that had passed? From when she started that to now, and the way her life was. Like, what's it like to see yourself on screen 30 years in the past? How many memories came flooding back? So I thought that was really cool. Flashback Horror Weekend is an absolutely awesome spot. I would say, yeah, probably a nostalgia and memories. She was really nice. I got some pictures of me meeting Brooke Thies on social media. She was really friendly. I remember, so at the Flashback Horror Convention, this was back when it was at the Crown Royal, the Crown Plaza Hotel, I think. It was at a different hotel before. Um, on the end of the first night, they would have this party basically in the parking lot, and they would bring this like party bus that people would hang out in. So I was hanging out in the party bus with all the other horror movie fans. We were all just chilling out. And as the night went on, some of the celebrities and stars started to join us. So I ended up sitting next to Danny Hassel, who played Dan Jordan in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and 5. He's also a veteran. I ended up hanging out with him in the circle with a few other guys. Robert England went to the bar for a little bit. It was just really, really fun. Flashback are awesome. They're very cool people, and it was an awesome time. Dream Warriors was the first movie I ever, so not first movie. Dream Warriors was the first horror movie I ever watched as well, and it was the first. It was the first scary movie, the first nightmare movie I ever watched. I watched it during a sleepover at a friend's house, and I absolutely. It was that moment I fell in love with scary movies and horror movies. At first, it was much more Nightmare on Elm Street, almost exclusive, but then definitely as time went on, it became more horror in general. So now for me, even though Nightmare is my favorite franchise, I'm a big fan of all the franchises and all the franchise players. I love Scream, Halloween, Friday the 13th. I think Hellraiser is terribly underappreciated as a horror genre, as a franchise. There's a lot of great Hellraiser entries that don't get near the love they deserve. Child's Play, Urban Legend. So yeah. But having said all of that, we desperately, desperately, desperately need a new Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm not one of those people who knocks the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street from 2010. I actually enjoyed that. Even though I think ultimately it was a miss. It was a miss for the best of reasons, which was it was overly ambitious. And so because of that, I tend to give it a bit of a pass, and I do enjoy watching it and rewatching it. Also, I think A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake, has the best opening scene of certainly any nightmare film and maybe any horror film. I love the scene in the with the rain and the diner. It just sets the tone and the place so well. It was just really fun to watch. So yeah. So anyways, but we do need another remake. I would love to see them take up the series from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 and revisit the Alice Johnson character, revisit her son's character. Because we don't know what happened. They did a book, which was not an official canon, where they killed her off and her son grew up to take revenge on Freddy. But that was the book, so. Well, so, I mean, it really was probably just the timing of it. Watching it at a sleepover with a friend, and you're young and you're having fun. It's one of those things where um, everything's kind of set up to love it. But ultimately, um, ultimately, it's just there's something about who I am as a person, who knows where it comes from or why it exists, that just likes scary movies. It's like not a family thing. My dad has never liked scary movies. My mom never liked them. Nobody else in my family likes scary movies. It's just one of those things where there's something about me and my personality that's attracted to them and drawn to horror films. And who knows why. Well, so Dog Eat Dog, so that's why I tend to give the remake a big pass because originally, in the original film, the plan was to make Freddy Krueger someone who preyed on children, not just was a murderer, but preyed on them in you know in other horrible ways. But for various reasons, and this has been the documentary, they changed it and they said he's a child murderer and that's it. I remember even for me, when I first watched it, I was a kid, right? I was probably 10 or 11 or 12 when I saw those films. Even when Heather's or Nancy's mom was talking to her about it, right? He said to Nancy, right, he was a filthy child murderer. And I remember even then, me as a 12-year-old seeing that was like, I think you pulled a punch there. I think you initially planned to make him something else, something even more horrendous. And you kind of backed away because you're worried about reaction from audience and parents groups. And actually, at the time, the reason they backed off on it was because there was some real life stuff in the news about that. And they felt that putting that in the movie would be too much for audiences. But it always was one of those things where I understood why they do it. It's just too much of a heavy topic to place in a movie that ultimately is a popcorn, fun horror film. Um, and so it was too, because ultimately to me, a slasher film is truly a lighthearted adventure. It's fun. Like, yes, because we know what's happening. It's like the fun house at a carnival. It should scare you in the moment, but it shouldn't linger with you or keep you freaked out. It should be ultimately an enjoyable experience, right? When you're going through a carnival fun house and the ghouls and the goblins are popping up, you get scared in the moment, but ultimately you're having a good time while you're taking part, right? Once you start to get into some of these topics, it's so heavy, it becomes something different, right? But there was always this feeling in the original A Nightmare on Elm Street that they were just pulling the punch. And that did, even when I watched it the first time, take me out of it a little bit. Um, However, I think ultimately they made the right choice. Because like I said, in the remake, it was just too heavy of a thing, right? It was just too heavy of a topic for a slasher film, which is like a popcorn film, to broach. So I just didn't think it worked. But I did greatly admire the fact that they went for it and actually didn't pull that punch the way that they did in. Because I never got the sense that he was innocent in the original movie. I just got the sense that he was supposed to be one thing and then they didn't. They were concerned about how it would play. So they switched it from that thing to simply a child murderer. So in that sense, I admire the fact that Eno, Nightmare on Elm Street, decided to actually go for it and swing for the fences. It just didn't, like I said, it just didn't work. It was too heavy. I don't know if you could, in one of these slasher films, deal with that topic successfully. I think it will always be too heavy of a topic. There are other types of horror films where you can deal with that. Like um I can't think of the name of it now. There is this movie that came out, uh a scary movie that came out several years ago. Stephen King talked about it, which dealt with kind of some of those topics a little bit, and it was somewhat successful. But I think, going back to what I was saying, I think that topic, it doesn't work in horror. It works in drama, like Sleepers, for example, but it doesn't work in the horror genre. It's too heavy for horror, because horror is meant to be ultimately a carnival ride. You should be scared while you're in it, but you should enjoy it at the same time. So it was Johnny Depp's first role. Johnny Depp also appeared in A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 6, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, in like a cameo, which was really cool. I love the fact that Johnny Depp, to my knowledge, has never shied away from uh, um, talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street, or like pumping that movie up. I feel like sometimes actors, if their first role is in a scary movie, can be a little bit standoffish about it. I think, a great deal of respect to Johnny Depp for, I guess, to what I understand, always talking it up. Like I was told Jennifer Aniston kind of distances herself from Leprechaun, even though I love Leprechaun. I think it's a great movie. And if anybody out there wanted to watch a scary movie for the first time, Leprechaun's one of my recommendations. Leprechaun and Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Um, those are my two general recommendations, more so than any other scary movies. Keep it light, keep it fun, keep it enjoyable. It did. I mean, the genre goes through different evolutions, right? I tend to not be a snob about these type of things, right? For me, I love 80s horror. I love early 90s horror. I love late 90s horror. I love 2000s horror. I think they all have their place. And when it comes to slashers especially, there's almost no slasher genre or time period that I do not really, really love and really enjoy. So, yeah. One of my favorite scary movies is From Hell, starring Johnny Depp. I would love one day to have Johnny Depp appear on the Square and Compass podcast. I'm sure he's not going to, but I'd love, if I could, um, get him to appear. We're just going to give this another few minutes. We're going to see if anybody else jumps in the chat to say hello. As I was saying, please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. It has a ton of real world references, Texas. That's one of the things I love about it. There's a lot of things I love about A Nightmare on Elm Street, or the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I love the TV show as well. All that stuff is really cool. So, I'm still working on my Masonic movies, my Masonic Hallmark film, and my Masonic everything else. So hopefully, once I get that going, I can let people know how it goes. Please, as always, take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Um, I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you so much, everybody who's joined thus far. As always, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. I made it to 2,500 subs, but you can always lose subs as you go. So please let me get a few over the top just so I can keep that going. And if there's anything you want to chat about when it comes to Freemasonry, please let me know. Any thoughts you have, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd absolutely love to hear them. But let's give it 5 more minutes. Like I said, we're just going to see if we're just going to see if we can potentially get any anybody else to jump on the chat for a couple of minutes. Like, well, I mean, I didn't know Freddy Krueger was ever in a comic book. I have a comic book featuring Freddy Krueger, but I didn't know he was in a Marvel comic book. I think that's really cool. Okay, this has been a blast of a stream, but I think I'm going to end this one. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody who joined. I will be back on, like I said, tomorrow, 12 p.m. on my personal YouTube channel with Smokey. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a great night, and I'll see everybody very soon. All right, guys, see you later. You as well, Texas, and thank you as always for being here.